name is Dan Krause. I have the honor and privilege of being the principal of this great high school. And it's truly... Thank you very much. As you will see and hear tonight, the contributions of the inductees and the accomplishments far surpass simply what will be written in biographies or the stories that are told sometimes still as legacies linger. But all of this process begins because of the commitment of individuals over the course of more than 50 years. Willowbrook High School's existence, as many of you know, began with the doors opening in 1959 at the time of a high school that was considered the Taj Mahal or a palace, and it still is today. So I say that with the utmost respect because the individuals that are in this room and have helped to build the foundation and the legacy and the tradition and the excellence that is Willowbrook High School. We still discuss the words warrior pride and what it means to be a Willowbrook warrior and what it truly means to wear the school colors and the representation that means not only in our buildings but throughout our communities, and obviously for all of you here tonight, what it means well beyond the four walls of a school and well beyond Villa Park and Lombard, a little bit of Oak Brook Terrace, some of Elmhurst, and some other areas that we take in to the entire world. Because the individuals that will be honored tonight, you will hear about the contributions they have made within our school and well beyond. We can't begin without recognizing and thanking a few members that are here tonight and a few individuals that are able to join us tonight. I'd first like, if we don't mind, any members of the class of 2010 inductees, if you are here this evening, could you please stand so we can recognize you again as distinguished alumni and staff members from 2010. In addition, an event like this is a long time in the making. There are quite a few individuals behind the scenes that never want any credit. That means publicly we do make sure that they stand up and are recognized. So, for that I would like to ask all the members of the Distinguished Alumni and Service Recognition Committee to please stand and please be honored for your tremendous work. Now, I did notice that there was one person who didn't stand, and she's the one person that we know that you've had the most conversations and contacts with, especially as new inductees. So I'd like to ask Ms. Jerry Hayes to please stand and be recognized. In addition, the tremendous contributions that happen here and the support of this program are because of the amazing work that happens throughout our school and throughout our district. And that begins with, obviously, what happens in our classrooms. And that ends with what happens in our classrooms. And it takes a tremendous amount of support surrounding that to make sure that all of our students are successful and improve on a daily basis in terms of their work. And behind the scenes of all of that are members of our leadership team and our district office and certainly our Board of Education. So I'd like to begin by recognizing members of our Board of Education who also do serve on the Distinguished Alumni and Service Recognition Committee. So I thank them for their contributions. The first is our Board President, Mrs. Donna Kane. And our Board Secretary, Mrs. Sharon Cusick. As I mentioned a couple of times, this process began over 2 years ago to develop a recognition of Willowbrook High School, not just for the alumni and not just for the staff, but for the contributions this school has made over 50 years. We began with the 50th Anniversary Celebration Committee, and from that have spawned many recognitions for Willowbrook High School. Many of you have heard of and know about the Athletic Hall of Fame that has been established over the last 2 years. Many of you know about, obviously, this event that we're all here for this evening. You may also know that District 88 in combination with District 45 and 48 have now established a new educational foundation for our local communities to support current students as well as innovative projects. So it's a tremendous work. And then finally, as you'll see, a couple of flyers related to the foundation as well as a new Veterans Memorial project that has spawned out of this conversation about how to best recognize Willowbrook High School, the students who attended, the staff who built our school to the tradition and the excellence that we have, and how best to instill that legacy in the years to come. So thank you so much for all that you have done and for all of you for being here tonight as we honor not just the inductees from the class of 2011, but all the tremendous contributions that Willowbrook High School has had over the last 50 years. To help do that, I would like to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Steve Humphrey, to have a few words as well. Thank you.
Good evening and congratulations to the recipients tonight on what you've accomplished. It's a big deal to be here and to be recognized. I think when you come back and you remember back when you were here in the 80s or the 60s or the 70s, it may not seem like a big deal to you. But where we're at today as one of the leading schools in terms of academic achievement or in terms of facilities or in terms of pride began in those years. It didn't just happen in 2011 and 12. We build very little in the here and now. What we have is because of the foundation, the base of traditions and history and commitment and persistence and excellence that began in those early years, and the pride that was there and the achievement and really the unknown of the future and where we might go. But that largely got determined by who you were and the character you brought to the classrooms and to the school and the character you brought to beyond the school when you left there and went out into the world. And we give back then all those good things as a school that you were able to accomplish as now who we are as a building. And that's a tremendous thing to be proud of as a school district and the Board of Education and the high school administration. We can't thank you enough as alums, as people interested in service to the community, because wherever you're at in this world, you're still contributing to Willowbrook High School. Thank you and congratulations. Enjoy the evening.
Thanks, Steve. Just a couple more introductions, and I have one final comment, and I promise then it will be dinner time as Paul is standing there waiting to let me know that it's time to eat. The first introduction is a person who has been a part of District 88 for 10 years now as the principal of Addison Trail, but we won't hold that part against him. But we will certainly recognize him as Dr. Scott Helton will be the superintendent of schools beginning in July of 2012. So I'd like to welcome Dr. Helton. As well as members of the Willowbrook High School administrative team, I'd like to introduce Mr. Tom Cantlin, Mrs. Ann Kimpton, and Mr. Bob Daly. As our assistant principal, and athletic directors, respectfully. And then finally, our master of ceremonies this evening, Mr. Jim White. And with those introductions complete, I would like to finish with a couple of comments related to what Steve had said. For those of you in the class of 2011, and all the other members are welcome to attend as well, that are able to come to the homecoming pep assembly tomorrow afternoon, I really encourage you to do so. Because at Willowbrook High School, we speak very candidly about who we are, but also who we have been. And for the past 50 years, the contributions that all of you have made and the foundation you've built for our success. And we speak very forthright with our students about being committed to something bigger than just themselves. Because as individuals, you can accomplish quite a bit. But every one of the persons that will be recognized tonight gave back. They gave back to something greater than just themselves. Whether you were a teacher for 30 plus years and changed students' lives, whether you're a student who took in all of that experience and followed your passions and continued on to the great work and the contributions you made to society, you have built who we are as Willowbrook Warriors. And our students, as much as a homecoming pep assembly is exciting because of being a football game and a theme week and a spirit week, tomorrow you will have the loudest applause because of who you are and what you've contributed to our school. Because we talk about your stories. We talk about the legacies you've left behind and their responsibility to carry that on in the future. And the traditions and the pride that we hold near and dear as Willowbrook Warriors. So thank you so much for being here tonight. Congratulations to all of you as the new inductee class of 2011. And I will close with dinner is served.